Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout, and let's talk about the new Star Wars movies being shelved. Unfortunately, Disney they haven't learned their lesson. They came out with this enormous, I guess you could say ambitious, I'd say delusional slate of movies that they were going to put out that are supposed to all exist within the Star Wars universe, kind of like what they did with Marvel. You know how we used to have like a Marvel movie once every 2, 3 years? So it was like, once you enjoyed the one that came out, then your anticipation and just your hunger for the next one kind of built up over a couple of years. And then you had the next one and it was amazing. Now we get like 5 or 6 a year, and it's like a buffet. It's like a old country buffet, right? It's just cheap food, slop you put on your tray. That's how Star Wars is now. I'm going to go into what is being cut, why, and what the heck is going on. But before I do, be going over, hit subscribe, click notification bell, comment, and like this video. I want to hear what your opinion is on the canceled, shelved Star Wars movies. All right, so there's supposed to be like 10, 12 movies, like 2 or 3 new trilogies are going to be coming out. It's crazy to wrap your head around it, right? Because with Star Wars, you had the original trilogy, late 70s and 80s, and then you had about another 10 years, another decade until we got the prequels. And then you had over a decade until we got The Force Awakens. So there's a long wait, right? With this, no, there's not going to be decades or even years. There's going to be like months in between these movies, which is nuts. All right, so I'm over here at GamesRadar.com. Multiple Star Wars movies shelved, but some live on. So when they say shelved, what that means is like that's basically corporate speak, studio speak for, yeah, sure, they could still happen, but we're just kind of putting them on the back burner. They're never going to say they're canceled. If they were to say they're canceled, that is like, that just makes them look bad, right? It makes the studio look like they're incompetent, because if they're canceled, there must be something wrong with them. If there's something wrong with the stories, why would the studio greenlight them anyway, right? And the studios don't ever want to look bad, so they're going to always say shelved, but they'll be indefinitely shelved. Patty Jenkins and Kevin Feige's projects are no longer moving forward, while I always get this guy's name wrong. Taika Waititi's I'm going to call him TW, is still in development. Lucasfilm is no longer moving forward with Patty Jenkins and Kevin's Star Wars movies, Variety has reported. Fans had been gearing up for disappointment surrounding Jenkins' Rogue Squadron flick ever since it was pulled from the studio slate in September 22. But the Wonder Woman director temporarily quelled fears when she revealed she was still developing the project in December. Now, here's what I think happened with that. Wonder Woman, the first one, did pretty well at the box office. And here you have, a female director. All the studios are trying to get more female directors. Here's one who had a superhero movie, a female, led protagonist superhero movie. And then Wonder Woman was at 1984. The one that's set in the 80s came out. That one was a colossal disaster. The studio lost a lot of money there. So I think that the studio kind of, their excitement for Patty Jenkins cooled off quite a bit after that movie. So from their perspective, they kind of look at it like, well, maybe she just kind of lucked out with the first Wonder Woman. Because if she would have really hit it out of the park with the sequel, that would have kind of like sealed the deal. Okay, this isn't just like a one-time thing with her. This is a person who, clearly can replicate success over and over again, because that's what they want. That's what the greats do. Alfred Hitchcock, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Nolan. I mean, you name it. Those guys consistently, they'll have some duds, but consistently their body of work is a success after success, and that's what the studio wants, because that's what makes money. With her, not so much. It says here, not much was known about Feige's outing other than the fact that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness scribe Michael Waldron had been lined up to write the script. I'm enjoying having the freedom on that to do something that's not necessarily a sequel or anything, he said last year. Towards the end of 2022, Feige hired Waldron to pen Avengers Secret Wars, which is set to be the endgame equivalent in Marvel's current multiverse saga. So it's entirely possible that the pair are too busy with MCU stuff to branch out into Star Wars content. They're too busy because the Marvel stuff is the only thing that's making a return right now. The Star Wars stuff, surprisingly, the toys, I mean, if you go to like a lot of toy stores, a lot of those toys are marked down because people aren't buying them. There isn't a lot of hype and excitement for Star Wars right now because the studios pretty much bashed the fan base they had, that hungry Star Wars fan base. They just bashed them. They put them down. They belittled them. So a lot of those people moved on to other things. Now, that fan base is a little bit older, so they're a little more aware of what's going on. The Marvel fan base, I would bet, if you look at like the age demographic of the Marvel fan base, they probably skew a little bit younger. So a lot of those people aren't really aware of maybe what's going on with Disney and Marvel, and so they're going to be consuming more and more content than maybe the Star Wars fan base is, just because the Star Wars movies are a lot older. They go back to late 70s, and the Marvel movies, they're not as old. It says here that, interestingly, TW Star Wars movie seems to still be going ahead, with Variety suggesting that the Thor Love and Thunder, that movie was a disaster. They lost a ton of money on that one too. Filmmaker is looking to cast himself in the film, because of course he is. It would be kind of cool to cast yourself in your movies, right? I mean, I'm not gonna hate on the guy for that, you know? If I could do it, I would do it, so would you. While Lucasfilm is yet to confirm it, the publication also claims that the studio is committed to bringing Charmin, I can't pronounce the rest of that person's name, Star Wars vision to life in the not so distant future. While Star Wars future on the big screen remains uncertain, the franchise continues to thrive on the small screen. That's debatable. With Disney Plus shows, Obi-Wan Kenobi, that one was given a big thumbs down. It did not do well. Andor, that's mediocre. The Mandalorian, I would say seasons 1 and 2 pretty good. Season 3, that is yet to be seen how that's gonna end up. But I would say out of all three of them, The Mandalorian, hands down, is the only thing that's carrying Star Wars right now. All proving popular with fans. The latter is currently airing its third season and sees Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, reunited with Grogu after Luke Skywalker whisked the little green being off to do some Force training. So that is basically the gist of the article. And by the way, isn't it crazy that Pedro Pascal, he's got like the #1 show on Disney Plus, and right now I believe he has the #1 show on HBO, The Last of Us, right? So this one guy is basically holding up 2 streaming services on his back. Crazy, right? Anyways, I am not surprised that a lot of these Star Wars films are getting shelved, because I mean, a lot of us are just kind of turned off by it. I honestly would not pay to see a Star Wars movie in theaters. I would not right now. I would have to wait until it's been out for a while, and critics that I trust have seen it and have told me that there's no ridiculous things in it. There isn't any propaganda in it, and it's not going to belittle, the fan base, because I do not give Disney, Star Wars, or Marvel the benefit of the doubt at this point. They have not earned my trust. They've done just the opposite, and so if they want us to buy tickets, they're going to have to work for it. That's all I can say. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think that it's good that Disney has shelved the Star Wars movies because they're just like atrocious? Or do you like these Star Wars movies? Do you think, hey, I like Obi-Wan Kenobi and how bad it is. It's great. Or I like Andor, or I like The Mandalorian. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later.